Okay, so this is our first ever Culture Wars linking to these 16 things. If you're watching this, you are so lucky. All right, so here's the deal. I'm going to be putting out a couple of videos just trying to link certain things going on in culture in our world, tying it into these 16 things and helping parents start conversations with their kids. So queued up for this day, this week, I'm not really sure, but some of you maybe heard in Vermont, there was a school called Vermont Christian School. And their high school is doing a basketball tournament with the girls. And they're about to go up against a team that had a transgender, that had a man, a boy, playing on the women's team that said he was a transgender girl. So if you followed any of this in culture, you're thinking, well, hold on, it's girls sports. Why is a boy on the team? Welcome to the culture war of 2023. So the Vermont Christian School had to make a decision. They had to make a decision on, do we go play? Do we just accept this as the norm? Because when we show up, we're borderline accepting that this is okay. We are willing to accept those rules. That you can put boys on that team, boys with male genitalia, the muscles, the endurance. Not all boys that strong, we understand. But you're going to put them on that team, and we're going to go against them. And I know that we have girls on the team, but that's fine. They took a stance. And they had to take a stance because those kids will forget who won the tournament. Those kids will forget the scores, who hit the free throws, were there technical fouls, anybody thrown out. But they will remember the moral lesson involved here. So parents, imagine sitting your kid down. And by the way, this article, you can find it on a variety of different news sources. But up there, you're going to see I put the link for CNN there. This is a CNN article. Okay, so imagine you sat your kiddos down and you explained this story to them and said, what would it take for a coach and a principal of a high school to say, we choose to forfeit the tournament? Because they did. They didn't show up. They said, we're not going to do it. And they forfeited, but it got even worse. According to this article, that school is now ineligible to participate in Vermont Principals Association activities going forward. That school is officially banned. So when this Christian school made this decision to take a stance, there are consequences with taking a stance. And this is the conversation point for your teens. This is just a vehicle. This article is just a vehicle to have a conversation with your kids. So are we called to take a stance on what we believe? Oh, come on, Luke. It's just you're going with this transgender. Stop. I'm talking about taking a stance. What are we willing to take a stance on? So Philippians, Paul writing to Philippi, he says in Philippians 1:27, we'll figure out a way to put that up there. It says, conduct yourselves in a manner worthy of the gospel of Christ, so that whether I come and see you or remain absent, I will hear of you that you are standing firm in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel. 1 Corinthians, Paul again, 1 Corinthians 16:13. Be on the alert, stand firm in the faith, act like men and be strong. We're called to stand. We're called to stand in our faith. We're called to stand firm and not let the culture wind blow us over. This is the conversation with your kids. You can use this article. Talk to your kid. If you were at that high school and you believe that boys playing on a girls' team is wrong, would you stand up against that? So these girls on this basketball team that can't play anymore in this athletic association, well, there could be basketball scouts for colleges that they'll miss out on. It could mean a scholarship is gone. There are real consequences to this. But are we willing to accept those consequences to stand in our faith? Because if we don't stand firm now, what's going to change next time? What about the next time? When will you? When will you? And then when your kids become parents, will they tell their kids to stand? No, because they don't have examples of standing. They buckled. The wind hit them. They buckled. Teach our kids to stand firm. Pull them to the dining room table. Use this example. Tell them, stand for Christ.